7 deaths and 1 missing person. These are the official flood statistics reported by the government. Opposition politicians, however, say the number of tragic flood deaths could be higher. In Nowy Svetov, I came across such a house, where there was a son of the owner, who asked us to take everything out of the house because it was not usable. I ask, and where is the owner? The gentleman tells me that unfortunately she died. I say, when did she die? Well, during this wave. So this is a victim of the flood. He says, no, because the gentleman came and said it was a heart attack, so she's not a flood victim. Similar information about more deaths that were not classified as caused by the flood is also trickling down to other politicians. I, as an MP, received a report that there was a situation where a person drowned while in a car. I, of course, do not know if this is true information. I can only rely on information that reached me from what seems to be a sensible internet user. The person who drowned in the car was not recognized as a person who died as a result of flooding, but it was counted as a car accident. So the actual number of flood victims may not only be much higher than the one reported by the government, but also already forever hidden. We have information from the cities most affected about the fact that in individual cases of these victims, according to people who live there, from the information that they have from friends, there have been obituaries pasted on walls, on poles, and these obituaries are more than the number of victims given by the government. So, Mr. Editor, I'm afraid that journalists are left to drive through the most devastated cities and count the number of funerals, because we may never get other statistics. Asked about information appearing in the public space about the growing number of flood victims, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk called it black propaganda and misinformation. This is very devastating. You know how people must feel when they hear this kind of fake news. After all, no one has the time or especially there on the ground to verify this information. Perhaps. But on the other hand, if the information about more victims was confirmed, it could cause public outrage. If there are any fatalities, if the number of fatalities is greater than what is said, well, someone must be responsible for that. Responsibility for the fact that these people were not warned in time, and then it would be difficult for Tusk to explain himself. So absolutely, this is not information that he would like to see being repeated in the media. Today, Tusk is appealing to the media to report only official information from his subordinate services about the number of flood victims. But during the crisis on the border with Belarus, it was the media favourable to him that eagerly published fake news about alleged bodies buried in the forest there. I remember earlier cases when various stations with the yellow stripe were directly saying that victims of Kaczynski, victims of law and justice, etc. And now what? Now we are supposed to talk about the victims of Tusk? The police, in an official announcement, dismissed rumours of more flood victims. However, all of the victims included in the statistics died as a result of drowning. Police are also asking people to report as soon as possible information about people they have lost contact with.